Yep. For Bradley. We'll need to have a copy. You'll have to edit. Here, if you want this one. Oh, just write in the names.
Grab my
Write in the names and then.
We're going to call a meeting to order. It's 7 o'clock. Hope everybody's signed in. If you haven't, please do. We got a good idea. We'll have the children do the Pledge of Allegiance. If that's like one of us will lead the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance. This little guy, you want to lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I would also like for everyone to keep the Guzman family in their prayers and thoughts with the loss of their loved one the other day. So if we could please keep them in our prayers, that'd be great. Next, we have a hearing. This says the next item on the agenda is for the board to hold a preliminary hearing on a proposal capital project. If you're interested in speaking at the hearing, please make sure you sign the sign-in sheet, which should include your name and address. After a presentation by the administration and its advisors, there will be an opportunity for the public to make comments about the project. At the hearing, we ask that each person limit their comments to 3 minutes and on the topic limited to proposal project under consideration. This is the notice of the preliminary determination of hearing of public legal requirements. At this time, we'll ask Andrew.
So pursuant to Indiana Code 6-1.1-20-3.1, school corporation must hold 2 public hearings and adopt a resolution to preliminarily determine to issue bonds or enter into a lease for a project which has a total project cost in excess of certain thresholds. These public hearings and the future consideration of resolutions are the very beginning of the legal process. We note that no board action is legally required at this hearing. Rather, this hearing is solely to hear public comment regarding the project.
We will now hear from the administration about the process of determining and the communication of the project to the community and the needs for the project.
So what we are asking the board and our community for is to help us fund a project, heating and cooling project at West Noble Elementary School. This will be one complete project. We have an engineer and a construction company that we've worked with. They are the engineer for West Noble School Corporation. They did both projects at the middle school. They just last week during spring break, I guess 2 weeks ago, helped us with a project on top of the the high school here. And we are partnering with them to begin this work this summer, and hopefully, pending this approval here in the next few weeks, and then moving forward with that project year-round, starting this fall and going until about December of 2026. And at that time, we will add air conditioning to the gymnasium at West Noble Elementary. The entire heating and cooling system will be totally redone to a new model, from heat pump model to cold and hot water system like we have at the rest of our buildings. And so that's the goal, is to make sure that our classrooms are warm when they need to be warm, cool when they need to be cool, not leaking out of the rooftop units onto the heads of our students and teachers. So that is the goal, the educational need for the project. It's something that's been on our list for many years, and we're excited to get this going. Hopefully, as soon as we get approval on borrowing this money. It's a lease bond, and the goal is for that to be tax neutral borrowing, that we are using some of our debt capacity in order to complete this project.
We will now hear from Nate about the proposal project meets the needs just described.
Okay, that's what I just did, I think. What's the next one?
We'll now hear from Lisa
Huntington.
Huntington about the proposal project and the finance, as well as the information about the efforts on the typical property taxpayer.
Thank you for having me. I'm Lisa Huntington with Baker Tilly, and we serve as municipal advisors for the school corporation. So tonight we're just going to really briefly discuss the financing and what the impact could be to the typical taxpayer. So the slide you're looking at now is a numerical version of the school corporation's existing outstanding debt. And as you can see, there are some debt falling off. So if you look at the column all the way to the right, we'll see that that debt service amount gets lower and lower and lower. So we're just going to fill in those gaps in order to accommodate the capital project needs of the school corporation. And then the next slide is just a pictorial version of what I just showed you. As you can see, our bars are level through 2026, and then we have what we call a step down, and then another step down, allowing us capacity to complete the project with no impact on the taxpayer. So if we look at this slide, this is a summary of the proposed financing. Here's where we kind of talk about maximums. We're not actually setting those tonight because we're not making any decisions, but this is going to be what our project is based on. So our maximum borrowing amount is $12,775,000. Again, we can always go lower than that, but we can't go higher. So we set this at the most the school can borrow without exceeding certain thresholds. Estimated proceeds available for the project would be about $11.8 million. We expect that it will take about 20 years to repay. The estimated interest expense is about $8.6 million, and the maximum annual payment will be about $1.25 million. Excuse me. Our maximum annual tax rate impact is just about 13 cents. That's based on that 1.25 million. That's not the taxpayer impact. If we look at the next row, we see tax rate increase over 2024 is 0, but there is a slight tax rate increase over 2025 of just a little over 3 cents. So in 2025, the debt service fund tax rate just went down a little bit. We're going to bring it back up. We'll restore it to the 2024 level. And then we also provide you some legal ratios. Actually, we need to provide these by law. So the current and proposed annual debt service divided by the net assessed value of the school corporation is 2.52%. And all of the debt service, the school corporation's debt, and all of the overlapping units that you serve is about 4.12%. Keep in mind that these numbers that we're showing are based on 5% interest rates, and we also don't factor in any growth for net assessed value. We keep everything level just to be as conservative as possible when we put this information together.
What are interest rates right now for this type of bond?
Right now, we are looking at about 5%. The market is a bit volatile.
Has it been going up or has it been going down?
It has ticked up just a little bit. We're hoping that by the time we go to market for these bonds, things are going to settle down and we'll get back to the kind of market that we saw a few months ago, where we were looking at between 3.5% to 4.5%.
So is this linked to the T Treasury bills then somewhat as they go up? That interest rate goes up, kind of like mortgage?
It is a little bit. there are a lot of moving parts in the bond market. Sometimes bonds do better in certain kinds of economies, but right now with all of the uncertainty with our Trump tariffs, you know, we're seeing some volatility. And what we do on behalf of the school corporations, we are your municipal advisor. So our job is to make sure we do the best we can for you. When we're ready to go to market with these bonds, if we're seeing that conditions are not good to sell bonds, we will stop and, you know, put a hold on it until things get better.
Is there a possibility in that, the way things are going?
I think, honestly, that by the time we go to market with these bonds, I think the dust will have settled by then. But, you know, my crystal ball is just as good as today. So, but I do feel like, you know, we've seen bouts of volatility in the past. Things have settled down for months and months, and then something rises up and we see it again.
One other question, and again, the last percentage that we paid on the bond for the work that we did at the high school and the football field, what kind of percentage did we pay on that? Is that a 5% or?
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
I don't have that with me.
We can find out.
Because that wasn't long ago. I mean, that's just a year ago. And I thought
And we're
it was
still
down to
paying,
3
right? We're still paying that back. We can find out for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Sure.
When we have the second hearing.
I
Yes.
just like to see how much of a change from a year.
I'll make sure you have that with me when I come back at the next meeting. So the following again is a graphical representation of the debt service, the current debt service of the school corporation. That's kind of in the lighter bars, and then the blue bars represent the new debt service. As you can see, in 2024, our debt service fund tax rate was 30.15 cents. We're just bringing it back up to that level with the new issuance. But in doing that, we do anticipate a slight increase from 2025 to 2026 in the debt service fund tax rate of about 3 cents. I'm not going to read you this whole slide, but if you look in the center, you'll see the average market value of the home of $169,700. That is the median value of the home here in the school corporation area. So that taxpayer would probably realize about a $26 annual increase from 2025 to 2026 in their property tax bill, or that goes down to a little over $2 a month. We also have included some commercial property numbers. An annual increase to a commercial property valued at $100,000 would be about $33, and then ag property, 1 acre of ag property would be about 79 cents a year. 100 acres would be closer to $79. And that really concludes our presentation. Are there any other questions?
Is it ever an advantage to pay off? Okay, as you see debt coming off, okay, would it be an advantage to pay all of the debt that's still on before we add debt? And I know, and don't get me wrong, it doesn't work in our plans, but I'm just wondering, do schools ever do that? Or municipalities? It's kind of the same type of money.
Typically, no. Typically, what I see is that school corporations and other municipalities really try to keep things on a level basis, because there are always projects that have to be addressed. And so as good stewards, most municipalities do capital plans where they know, okay, this year I have to do HVAC, next year I have to do roofs, the year after that I have to buy 10 school buses. So, everything is planned out so that they can maintain the same level of debt service instead of having fluctuations.
That makes sense, but is it legal for a municipality to pay off a bond and not pay that, or is it in our contract that we have to pay for 20 years and interest the way that?
Okay, so if you have a bond that you take out for a 20-year term, usually for a bond that long, we put in what's called a call date, and that's usually at about the 10-year mark, where you do have the opportunity to redeem the bonds. Either if you have saved enough cash to do it, you can pay it off, or we can refund them if, for instance, we say, oh man, this market is great, we can save you some money by paying off those bonds early and refunding.
Good question. Good question. We will now open the public hearing. Remember, if you'd like to speak, please sign in on the sheet, which is located over by the table. As I mentioned earlier, we ask that you state your name and address, limit your comments to the proposal, project, and financing. Keep any comments to 3 minutes and avoid being disrespectful if possible. May I have the sign-in sheet now, and I will begin calling the names of those who are interested in speaking. That's 0. Okay. Thanks. I like it here. Okay, that will conclude the hearing. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will now move to our regular meeting. And we will now give the public an opportunity to speak in regards to anything on the agenda, the current agenda, if they would like to. Okay, we'll move to that spotlight, which everybody's here for. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Board and Dr. Bob, for giving us this opportunity. We started the year knowing that we need to improve, and we all realize that. And so at the beginning of the year, we met with our cadre leader, and Mrs. Duncan, myself, Mrs. Yoder. And this cadre leader was talking about how schools she's worked with have improved a lot. Mrs. Duncan said, what is the greatest growth one school made? And she said 12.5. Mrs. Duncan said, we're getting 12.6. And we did. And so we're really excited about that. So I'm going to share a little bit about that and our successes. It is about success, but it's also about the growth we're making as a school. I'm really excited to share this with you. Next slide, please, Mike. So I'm going to show you some data here. And this is this year's third grade scores and also last year's. It has a state, has our corporation in the difference. If you look at the spring of 2024, we had 63 or 49% of our kids passed compared to the state of 63%, which is a difference of minus 14. My goal is always to grow, but state average is where a minimum we're going to be. And so last year we fell a little bit short. This spring, we scored 62% to third grade, which is the state average is 62%. And so that is 13 points of growth. And we're really excited about that. And we're really proud about that. There's a lot of work for our teachers, the commitment from our kids, from parents. It was a group effort. I'm just really proud of that and excited about that and know that we can continue to grow. So my part's short. I'm done. But I'm going to have Mrs. Duncan come up because this is the important part now. We're going to hear from the kids.
So can we do the next slide?
All right, let's do second grade real quick. I forgot about second grade, Mrs. Duncan. This is important.
That's not my slide.
So second grade last year, we had 25% pass. This year, 42% pass.
That's awesome.
And that is a big weight off a lot of second graders and parents who had their kid pass this year. So that's amazing. And they'll get a chance to take it in summer school. They'll have a couple more chances in third grade as well. But we're really excited about that. Not only did third grade make a lot of growth, but second grade did as well. And we're catching up to the state on that one as well. So we're seeing growth in second grade and third grade. And we're just really optimistic about the things we're doing.
So are you done, Mr. Young?
I know.
So I get to share the growth, and our kids did an amazing job this year. 46 kids grew over 100 points on Ivory, which is phenomenal. Out of that, 10 of them grew over 150 points, and 4 of them grew over 200 points. So we had students, the lowest score is 200, and we had a student who went from a 200 to a 400. And so we had phenomenal growth, but we invited some students here to share what they did. They're going to tell you who they are, how much they grew, and they are going to tell you why they think they grew this year. So come on, guys.
Ladies first.
Hi, my name is Harper Coy, and I got 215 points and got a perfect score on Ivy. My teachers made me do the best I could because they stayed after school and helped me get better.
Awesome. Great job. Good job. Next young man.
Hi, my name is Isaac Klein, and I grew 147 points. What helped me earn 147 points was teachers helped me and then took my time in practice.
Great. Good job.
My name is Brandon, and I grew 152 points because I focused and practiced.
Great. Sir?
Hi, my name is Gabriel Hernandez. I scored 141 points. But maybe get 141 points because the teachers helped me after school. So that's how I got 141 points on the test.
Thank you.
My name is Camila. I grew 71 points. I grew 30 because I stayed after school and practiced budget problems to help me and take my time.
Thanks for your hard work.
My name is Amarani, and I got 207 points. She has Ivy, and that I listened to the teacher and focused on class and took my time.
Great.
And I grew 225 points.
Thanks all of you for all your hard work. Thanks for that time, that focus, and that after school. This hard work just pays off. We appreciate it, all you did. Thanks so much. Good job.
I also brought some teachers because they're going to tell you why they think they grew so
That's
much.
great. We like your teachers.
We like it when we hear from you.
You guys have a seat. Ladies first.
Hello, my name is Angie Beers, and I'm a third grade teacher here at West Noble. This is my 13th year teaching. I want to thank the board and everybody that was involved in getting us CKLA. It has made such a difference. We knew what we were doing before wasn't working, so we really appreciate the new curriculum. And I'm going to be honest, when I first saw the curriculum and saw the lessons, I thought, oh my goodness, are these kids going to be able to, handle this 120-minute lessons? and they have exceeded our expectations. They're interested in it. They want to do more and more. There have been days when I have to say, we have to stop writing. We have to move on to math. The kids are recalling things from the first unit now, today. And I really appreciate all the support you gave us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Terry, and I'm a second grade teacher at the elementary. I've been teaching 21 years in second grade, so I've seen a lot of curriculums over the years. I'm going to talk about the skills part of our curriculum. Skills is a 60-minute daily instruction that works on comprehension, phonological awareness, phonics, word recognition, fluency, language grammar skills, and also writing. Skills is an explicit teaching of phonics. It focuses on letters and sounds and decoding words and the alternative spelling patterns for the sounds. Students also learn what alternative spelling patterns are used most frequently in the English language. There are many opportunities for students in second grade to practice the skills that we're teaching them. One of, I think, the most awesome parts are the decodable readers that the students have access to read. They love reading from them. They're high interest. They're falling in love with the characters. And they're always eager to see what's happening in the next story. These decodable readers also give students the opportunity to practice segmenting and blending, comprehension, and they're giving opportunities that fit every type of a reader: partner reading, independent reading, and also choral reading. I feel like skills is helping our scores improve because of the explicit phonics instruction. It's systematic, it follows a certain order, and it gives students lots and lots of opportunities to practice and apply the skills when they get to the decodable reader that they're reading. I feel like it gives students a feeling of success. They open up that reader, they're noticing the different, spelling patterns that we've been working on, and you can just see their faces light up because I know that spelling pattern. I feel like I'm confident and able to do this. So I just feel like this approach, the skills approach with the explicit teaching, the whole group, the independent group, which gradually gives more and more responsibility to the students, and applying those phonics skills in the decodable reader is what is making our students successful readers this year. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to use this phenomenal program.
Thank you.
I don't really want to follow that. I didn't write anything down. So I'm just going to talk about how we collect our data now compared to what we used to. Now we use a thing called M-Class. Last year we used a lot of guided reading, and now we've learned that's not the best way to collect data for kids. So the data we use now compared to before, it's so specific now. Whereas before it was very subjective. It could be based on the teacher. Sometimes as a teacher you want your kids to do well. You've been teaching them for a year. You think they're doing great, so when you sit to read with them, you're like, yeah, they got it. And if another teacher sits down, they might say, hey, they didn't get it at all. So this kind of helps alleviate that too. Any teacher can test the kids. So if I'm absent and Mrs. Brady has to take my kids and test her, I'm going to be able to get the same results. So we can see, we really focused on nonsense words this year that can help us see if kids are able to decode words. Do they know their letter sounds? So a lot of kids can read, and you think they're reading well, but they have just memorized a lot of that. And that's not what we want them to do because we need them to use that space for comprehension. So the data is just, it's much more explicit in how we're teaching it, and it's helped guide our kids to the growth, especially our struggling readers. We've seen huge growth with them, and yeah, we appreciate you guys approving it because it's been excellent on our end.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other speakers?
Can we ask questions?
Yes, do you have questions?
I just want to real quick, thanks all the teachers. You guys did a phenomenal job. We appreciate getting you the tools you need. We appreciate you guys telling us what you need because it helps us a bunch. And parents, a lot of it comes right back to you guys at home. Thanks for all you guys do at home. Start reading with them and helping them support those. So thank you, parents, as well. Parents deserve a big round of applause as well. Open up, parents, you have a question?
Well, I'm going to start with the statement. I don't think that there's a better thing to do than give someone the gift of reading. I don't know of anyone that would.
I want to go back to Mrs. Beck and thank her because she taught me to be a good reader. And I remember her, and she was good. I just want to thank the teachers and kids. You guys work hard, but you got a pretty good curriculum there. They started with a new one. They were brand new at this and taught you guys and got 12 or 13 points. Now, what I think is they're beginners on this curriculum, actually. I think we'll see gains next year.
Yes.
And the year after that, because it's the second year after a curriculum you see the biggest gains.
So you guys are overachievers. You did really well.
You guys did so great. All of you. Now, I just thank you very much. Makes me happy.
Jeremy?
Yes, sir.
John? Good. Joe?
Thanks for being excited to teach it and learn it.
Good job, everybody. Thanks for the dedication to it.
Superintendent, you have anything to say?
I will say, to Parrish's point, they are starting this in kindergarten. So once they get up to second, third grade, they're going to have 2, 3, 4 years of this. And we also learned that our preschool programs are purchasing this equipment as well to this curriculum to begin the process even earlier. So it's really an amazing thing. I'm excited to see us begin to beat the state average. We can do it, and I'm excited to see that.
Thanks, kiddos, for all your, like I said, all your hard work. There's candy up here if you guys want some before you leave.
Maybe if they stand up in front of the board there and get a picture, all the kids. If the teachers want to get on the edges too.
Who's in there?
Mark and Jenny.
Teachers get up here as well.
No, I didn't speak.
Teachers get up here, you guys deserve all the credit as well.
You guys get candy?
Here's your candy for you guys leave. That's what we're looking at. Did you get everybody? You get your candy, kids.
Sure, I'll take some.
Anybody else want to eat? Everybody want something?
You take more time. Good job.
Yeah, we lost 24 now. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
We sure did a little fun.
Well, there you go.
John stuck around for us. We're good. Okay, all of you had an opportunity to review the minutes, the previous minutes from the previous meeting. Any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented. John makes a motion, I have a second. A second? Carries. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Superintendent report.
Thank you. couple things on my list tonight. First of all, along with Joe Hutzel, I want to just acknowledge the loss of a senior, Miranda Tapia Guzman, this last weekend in an auto accident, and just a difficult time that is for our staff and our students and this family. And so we appreciate the support from our community and from the other buildings as they've surrounded the high school, especially. There are siblings and cousins in other buildings as well. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that anytime we lose one of our students, it's a tragedy, it's a loss, and I want to acknowledge that tonight. I also want to acknowledge this green sign up here is from Christina Mast. She's a math teacher at the high school. She has an enrichment class, and they decided they wanted to thank the school board, this group of high schoolers, so they created this sign. And Kelly Brown is their counselor, and she was a part of this as well and brought that to me right before spring break. So appreciate that. They appreciate you and the work that you do. They feel it and are thankful. So that was from high school class. My first report item is on the TriShare program. This was Thrive by 5 Noble County initiative that we started back in 2023. At that time, the board voted to make a donation to the Noble County Community Foundation to into a fund that would be used and distributed by Thrive by 5, this countywide initiative, statewide initiative actually, for helping with childcare costs. That donation of $5,000 was doubled by our local community foundation, and so that $10,000 was used, distributed to our employees to help with childcare. They had to meet a threshold for income, and I wanted to give you that report today. You have supported 4 separate families and 4 children through the TriShare program since September 2023 by paying 1/3 of their child care costs. The first family who had a child enter kindergarten in 2024 received more than $1,300 in support. The next 3 families are still enrolled either at Lighthouse or Noble Early Learning. Noble Early Learning is the program up at the elementary on the hill. So these are the amounts that they have benefited by our donation, by the doubling of that donation. And so you can see between West Noble, the Noble County Commissioners, the family would have paid an additional $10,200 without this program. This is a savings of 2/3 for those families. We have about $1,300 left in that account, and we would estimate that a reinvestment of funds would last through the 25-26 school year. So that's this coming school year, and there's a request for that coming later. The program is changing in the future by the state, and so they said if we could give a donation yet this month before May 1st, that could be doubled. If we wait, then it would just be the $5,000. So there's an additional incentive for us. This is I'll give it as information, a report, and then information, and then we can ask for at the next meeting that donation again. These are 4 testimonials from these families. Actually, one is one that has applied and would like to start this fall in this program. That's the top one. I'll just let you read these. For those watching online, I guess they could see it too, right? Okay. This program has been a wonderful addition to our school. It is helping as we hire and retain our staff. and it's an excellent program. And so I wanted to thank, again, this seems to be the theme tonight, thank you to the board for supporting this in this way, and would you consider doing that again? Garage sale fundraiser.
Well,
yes.
go on to that. I just looked up a number that kind of surprised me because it's been a while since I paid any child care, thank God. But it's $13,736 in the state of Indiana right now on average for an infant care. That's a lot higher than it was when I was having children. I never had any children.
Okay. Moving on to the garage sale fundraiser. This is to support our representative to nationals in May. And so they are creating these flyers and information. Just a reminder that these are the kinds of things. Amanda is desperate to get rid of these tables and open up some storage space and some hallway space where they currently are. So it's items like these, larger items. There are tools. We'll be advertising and promoting this here in the coming weeks. But this is April 25th and 26th. So this will be a big weekend. All of this will take place in the auxiliary gym on those days, afternoon and evening on the 25th and Saturday morning. So that's a pretty exciting thing. And there'll be tech. I think there'll be some projectors and Chromebooks and different things like that we're going to be selling. We're trying to move things out and make space.
Do you have a price on it, or how does it work? Or do they just put a bid on it, or what?
There will be prices on some things. The rest, if it doesn't have a price, make an offer. And there will be people there to... If you make me an offer, I'll negotiate. Amanda might be paying people to take stuff. She wants it so bad. Outdoor education program update. We had a brainstorming collaboration day on March 20th, and this past Friday we brought together 15 teachers, parents, administrators out at the farm and spent a day out there collaborating, brainstorming, walking the property. We were up in this is the upper room. If you can just see the view there of that space. And so it's just really ideal. We're going to be doing some more workshops and trainings in that space for our new teachers. It's a little more inspiring than inside this room. There's just something beautiful about fresh air and being able to see outside and what's going on. We had 2 students join us. There they are in the middle of this picture. And that was great. A junior and a sophomore at West Noble that are very interested in education, but also what we can do in this space. We walked the property. This is in the front yard of the home. This is out in the woods behind the property on the north side. And this is facing the open field that used to be the pasture for horses. And so we were learning about the ecology of this space and what could possibly be done in these spaces. And it was just a very, very enjoyable day. It was a beautiful day. And I'm excited for the ideas that were generated and some things that are coming into this space.
Who's the person in the orange hat that appears to be leading?
This guy came for an hour and walked the property with us. He is an ecologist named John Breckingham. I may be missing that last name. He works with an organization that helps with invasive species, understanding the life cycle of a forest and the trees and what replaces after a certain time. And then here he was talking to us about making some of this area to the south we used to have it over by the pond. It's a
grassland.
Yeah, like a prairie habitat. And so what it would take for that to happen. So again, all of this was it was a huge learning opportunity for me. I learned more in that hour about butterflies and trees and grass. And it was phenomenal. So he was so impressed by this, especially with the wetlands to the east of this. He said basically you have every ecological system right here, and it's in great shape. It needs some tender loving care, it needs some management, but he was just floored by the opportunity that this space presents, and couldn't believe that the school would make an investment like this. And so it was just great to hear from him.
Well, before I forget, if you want to turn that into Prairie, I know the guy to do it.
Okay, thank you. Yep, we are going to need partners. We're going to need, and that's the goal of this, is we don't want to just hire somebody to come in. We want to hire a partner or invite people in that can help our students and our staff and our people do this, our clubs, our organizations within the school. We want every step of this process to be a learning opportunity for our kids. So we are going to need experts. We are going to need people who know how to do this, because I don't. And so I love it that we're already thinking of connections.
Any other questions?
There will be more in the coming days and weeks and months on this, and it's been a lot of fun for me to be a small part of this project.
Dr. Lau, who's taking the point on that? Is that you, or is that?
We have created a position. It's an ECA position at this point, kind of like a coaching position. I've posted it. It's still posted. I have not decided yet who's going to take the lead on this.
Have you had some interest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm taking my time on this one.
And that one actually could grow into a full-time position where they make their own bed, they make their own system, their own type of program for environmental groups come in and pay you. I mean, it just depends on the right type of person.
Right. It's a gold mine, and I want to carefully think through this and do this right. And not necessarily a gold mine financially, but a gold mine for learning, which is the reason that we're here. Building project update. Over spring break, as I mentioned, we brought in all the parts for a new chiller rehabilitation up on the high school. Feels like it's working. It's probably not the same one, but yeah. This room is great, Tony.
Tony, you're supposed to go along with it, yeah.
I'm just rolling the Tony. Pretend like we got it. All right. So that was fun to see. This is the interior walls inside the weight room going up on that back end. These are the offices and the training room and the restroom in that space. They're nearly completed on the outside. There's a few, as you can see, there's some roof trim pieces that need to be buttoned up there. They are working. Here's a different view of those interior spaces. This is the training room on the right-hand side. The left-hand side is an office. And then this is from the weight room, looking kind of down that hallway and into those spaces. And there it is again. So this is all new as of this last week. And there's a view, some of those center pillars are getting blocked in, and you can see some of the ductwork up on the ceiling. And so that is coming along. There's lights, there's electric. It's fun to see it beginning to take shape. And then I saw this on the driveway today. I don't know how many of those there are, Tom, but that was awesome to see all of those brand new hurdles. 85. So they look great. Excellent design. I love that we're honoring Chuck Schlemmer and his contribution to West Noble. And I think that's a great legacy moving forward. So well done on all of that. Any questions about?
Any issues with the roof on the weight room? Did everything turn out all right on the roof? Or?
Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, you all had the opportunity to review the consent agenda. Was there any questions in regards to the consent agenda? Couple trips. If no questions, I entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So moved.
Jeremy makes a motion. To have a second?
I'll second.
Joe Sager, second. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. All had an opportunity to review the personnel agenda. Any questions in regards to the personnel agenda? If not, entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion.
Laura makes a motion. To have a second?
I'll second.
Katrina, second. All those in favor? Thank you. Individual action items is the relay contract for Medicare billing. We talked about that at the last meeting.
So I'm going to ask us to table that. I'm going to take it back down to information. I have some new information on that. So I'd like to not make a decision on that tonight.
Thank you. Well, then we'll just move that down to information if you want to talk about it right now.
So we learned between the last meeting and this meeting that we are currently already in a contract. I didn't realize that that this had happened. So I am navigating that situation right now, and we're going to have to hold on this for a bit until we can figure that out.
The real problem is there are two different companies in Milton, and the other company, the co-op wants to use this particular company, and we don't want to be the only one that actually.
Yeah. Previous employee entered into a contract without permission of the board, apparently, and so we are in the middle of that, and we may need to let that ride out before we jump into this one. So I'm still negotiating back and forth with both companies, but until we get clarification on that, I'm not going to ask to enter into this one. So it's a good reminder of why we bring things to the board, so that we know that we all know what we're in and what we're not in.
So has this other company been billing, and have we been receiving money for services, or they're not doing their job?
The other company is, they manage the system, and as soon as we submit claims, they help submit those, and then they receive money when we make money from Medicaid. It's 10%. We have not submitted any claims, so we haven't paid them anything, and we also haven't been receiving anything. It's quite a process to get set up. So the process was begun and then halted while we learned that the co-op was looking at a different company. I thought we were just on hold and nothing, I didn't realize anything had been signed. And so we're just kind of in that murky middle ground. So no, we have not paid this other company a dime. We also haven't made any money from Medicaid by doing this billing.
So the company that you wish to go with now would do the billing on our behalf. They would do the legwork. Is that accurate?
They will do similar to what, so it's Relay and Claymate. Those are the two companies. Claymate is what we're in right now for another year and a half. And Relay is the new company. They essentially offer the same service. One is a flat fee. Relay is be $3,000 a year for 3 years. But that's the co-op pricing. Claymate is 10% of whatever you make from Medicaid. We are, so So what was your question?
Is it gonna take the same effort on West Noble's part
Yes.
to get paid,
Yes.
whichever company?
Yes.
So then, what's the real issue?
The real issue is learning the claim aid system and having that for a year and a half, and then jumping into the program with the co-op.
Okay.
So I'm asking them, can we buy out, like whatever you've already invested in, can we pay that and just get out so that we can join the co-op and get in on this pricing and everybody. So when we have a physical therapist that comes from Central Noble and they come service our students, they're using the exact same system, as opposed to we would have a different system for entering our piece of it and relaying that information to Medicaid.
What's keeping us in contract with the claimant?
It's a 3-year contract that we've signed. And it says in the contract you can't partner with any other company to do Medicaid billing during the 3-year term.
And I'll assume that the person who signed it had the ability to do so. I mean, it's like a legal binding at this point in time.
Probably. Joe asked me that question, and I mean, we could talk to our school board attorney and see if there's a way out of it because of that. It would have been high enough to probably have that authority.
Sure.
I just didn't know about it.
Any other questions on that?
So does that mean that the opportunity to join the co-op one then will expire by a certain time and we won't be able to get back into that?
I don't know for sure. I don't think so. I think as long as they know that we're coming, they would honor that and understand that we're in the middle of something. But that's part of what I'm working through right now. So it's unfortunate. It's frustrating to me. It's what we've got, and I'm trying to navigate the best way to do that. The second information item is a recommendation that I'm making to the board that we give a $5,000 donation to Noble County Community Foundation to take us through the end of 2026, 2025-2026 school year to help with childcare for those staff who qualify and who would benefit from this help. So it's just something to think about, talk about, and I'll bring it back as an action item for the next meeting. And hopefully by then I'll have some action on the Medicaid reimbursement as well.
Thank you. Sabrina, you know anything?
I'm sorry?
You have anything to talk about? Laura? Joe,
Concern everything that all employees do.
John Schwartz?
Just devastating news Saturday morning, and I hope everything's panning out for you guys. I'm sure you all know her, so my heart goes out to you guys.
Jeremy?
No, sir.
Parrish?
Had the opportunity to see the underground network in West Noble. Schools are, when we have a tragedy, schools come together. They do. I've never been in a school that didn't, but I got to see it. Several calls were made early, texts going back and forth. Who's this? Where? When? And really you saw a lot of people, caring people, communicating how to make it better for a lot of kids. Thank you.
Thanks again for the staff. I like to say all they do. It's just always great to hear all the positive things that comes out of West Noble. Every week, every day, it seems like something else comes out as positive. So we just like to, if we don't have positive, we work on finding out the reason why we don't and fix the problem. So that's one thing good about West Noble. Mr. Scrimmel,
Thank you.
Elise?
I think we had about 120 kids at Roundup that are registered now, close to the 100, so that's really good.
Tony?
I'm good.
Mike?
I'm good.
Mrs. Duncan? Mr. Yoder? Mr. Teal? Ashley? Amanda?
I want to say thank you to our teachers. We've got really strong staff, and thank you to Dr. Lau and the board for helping us through this. Especially thank you to Officer Grant Mulcher, because he was there, he's the one who called us. That's not easy. And we're lucky to have someone that, when these things happen, the kids know them. So, yeah. But thank you. We do have a great school, and the kids are really well supported.
Thank you. Need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming.
We need to get a picture of the board.